Red Rocket is a 2021 American comedy drama film directed by Sean Baker, from a screenplay by Baker and Chris Bergoch. The film stars Simon Rex as Mikey Saber, a formerly successful but now nearly penniless adult entertainer who, in 2016, returns to his small Texas hometown. There he cares less about people's affection and acceptance than to persuade them to do what he wants, with the film bearing witness to his scams. The film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in competition for the Palme d'Or and was released in limited theaters on December 10, 2021 by A24. The film was nominated for Gotham and Independent Spirit Awards. It won awards at international film festivals including Deauville, Mill Valley and Cannes. Rex also earned the Best Actor award from the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. Plot: after a 17-year absence, Mikey Saber returns to Texas City, his Gulf Coast hometown, in 2016. Badly bruised and almost broke, he arrives at the modest home shared by Lexi, his estranged wife, and her mother Lil. Mikey begs Lexi and Lil to let him stay at their house, but they insist that he get a job and perform household chores. The handsome and fast-talking Mikey tries to land work at a local diner and a Dollar General store, but is hindered by a nearly 20-year gap in his resume. After he admits to potential employers that he spent those years working as a porn star in Los Angeles, they refuse to hire him. Desperate, Mikey persuades Leandria, a marijuana dealer, to give him his old job back selling pot. Leandria and her daughter, June, suspect that Mikey will smoke the weed himself, but after he returns with his earnings their business arrangement continues. Mikey gives Lexi and Lil a month's rent in advance and takes them to a donut shop to celebrate. He is smitten with Strawberry, an attractive 17-year-old girl who works at the counter. He regularly returns to the donut shop and persuades Strawberry to let him sell pot to the construction workers who frequent the shop. Strawberry and Mikey soon start a sexual relationship. After sleeping on the couch for several nights, Mikey starts having sex with Lexi. Eventually she invites him to share her bedroom. When Mikey disappears for a weekend with Strawberry, Lexi grows suspicious and jealous. They quarrel and Lexi hurls a coffee pot which narrowly misses Mikey's head. Mikey becomes friends with Lexi's neighbor, Lonnie, who is intrigued by Mikey's tall tales about his porn career and sexual encounters. They visit a strip club and spend time together, but Mikey's impulsiveness causes Lonnie to swerve across traffic at a highway off-ramp, creating a massive vehicle pileup. After Mikey persuades Lonnie to hide his involvement in the accident, Lonnie assumes sole responsibility for the crash when he is arrested. When Mikey causes Strawberry to break up with Nash, her high school boyfriend, Nash and his parents confront Mikey in the donut shop parking lot and beat him. Mikey persuades Strawberry to travel with him to Los Angeles to pursue a career in adult films. After Mikey informs Lexi that he is leaving the next morning, she and Lil convince Leandria to send June and her brothers to confiscate the $3,000 that Mikey earned from selling pot. When Leandria's children confront him while he is sleeping, Mikey sneaks out a bedroom window naked and runs to Leandria's house to beg her to return his money. She gives him $200 and tells him to leave or face the threat of violence. Humiliated and nearly broke again, Mikey leaves with a few meager possessions. After traveling all night on foot to Strawberry's house, Mikey imagines seeing her dressed in a red bikini in her front doorway and his eyes well with tears as he slightly chuckles before the film cuts to black. Cast production Baker and Bergoch conceived of the idea for the Saber character while researching the adult film industry for their film Starlet, 2012, during which they met a number of men who fit the archetype of a suitcase pimp, which Baker defines as male talent who lives off a female talent in the adult film world. With regard to casting, the director had Simon Rex in mind 5 years previous to shooting, but had never introduced himself until, on October 23, 2020, Baker called Rex, convinced him to send an audition tape via iPhone, giving him just 5 minutes to prepare. Baker chose Rex, a model, MTV VJ, actor, and rapper for the role, who then drove to Texas to avoid a post-flight quarantine, as filming was set to begin in 3 days. David Rooney, writing for The Hollywood Reporter, referred to the casting of Rex as a winking joke, as he had starred in solo masturbation videos for a gay pornography company before establishing himself in his career. Because Baker had asked Rex to trust him, Rex did not tell his agent about the film until after shooting had ended. Baker approached Susanna Son in 2018 after a screening of Don't Worry He Won't Get Far on Foot 10 Da. YS after she moved to Los Angeles. He didn't call her for 2 years. Darbone was a waiter at a restaurant in Netherlands when Baker approached him because he liked his look. Rodriguez, who had been a regular at the Donut Hole location which was near the plant she worked before she was laid off, was walking her dog when Baker pulled over to ask her to audition. Principal photography began on October 26, 2020, and concluded on November 19, 2020, in Texas, United States, during the COVID-19 pandemic, using rigorous safety protocols. Red Rocket was shot on 16mm film. The film had a crew of 10 people, no rehearsal time and mostly non-actors. Filming locations included restaurants in Texas City and Nederland, a donut shop in Groves, as well as the Kemah Boardwalk and Galveston Island Historic Pleasure Pier in Galveston. The donut hole was open for business in the morning while filming took place in the evening. Securing the rights to the song, Bye Bye Bye, was not part of the initial budget. All 5 members of NSYNC had to approve its use. Actress Susanna Son recorded a cover version of the song for the official motion picture soundtrack. Creative influences. Baker has devoted his career to tell stories that remove stigma and normalize lifestyles of sex workers through his films. Baker stated that in Red Rocket he wanted to pay homage to Italian eroticism and sexploitation films by directors from the 70s like Fernando Di Leo and Umberto Lenzi. He was also inspired by Steven Spielberg's The Sugarland Express for the outdoor scenes. Release. A24 acquired distribution rights to the film in the United States and Canada in February 2021. Film Nation Entertainment later sold international distribution rights to Le Pacte for France, Roadshow Entertainment for Australia and New Zealand, Lev Cinemas for Israel, and Focus Features elsewhere excluding the US and Canada. Red Rocket had its world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival on July 14, 2021, where it received a 5-minute standing ovation. It also screened at film festivals in Deauville, Hamburg, London, Mill Valley, Miskolc, New York, Telluride, Rome, San Sebastian and Vancouver among others. A drive-in screening was scheduled as part of Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival featuring appearances by Baker, Scott, and the film's cast. In the aftermath of a mass casualty event at Scott's concert 3 days earlier, the event was cancelled. The film had a limited theatrical release on December 10, 2021, beginning in New York and Los Angeles. Lionsgate will release it on DVD and Blu-ray on March 15, 2022. Reception. Box office. In its opening weekend, the film earned $88,195 from 6 theaters for a per-screen average of $14,699. Critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 87% of 149 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 7.9/10. The website's consensus reads, led by Simon Rex's magnetic performance, Red Rocket is another vibrant, ground-level look at modern American life from director, co-writer Sean Baker. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 75 out of 100 based on 43 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Todd McCarthy writes of Red Rocket that then before much happens, the sense of a very specific location and cultural mindset is very intense. He praises both Baker and lead Simon Rex for their tremendous energy, and says the film feels as creatively pure as a novel by a kid just out of college. Matt Zoller cites of RogerEbert.com, on the other hand, calls the ca. 130-minute film rambling, in particular, describing the middle section, wherein Mikey ensnares the freckle-faced 17-year-old donut shop employee. Strawberry, Susanna Son, scheming their escape to Los Angeles so that he can lead her to adult film stardom as one-note and repetitious. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter also criticizes the film mildly for prolix stretches, saying, it could have used some tightening. But it's a pleasure to put yourself in Baker's capable hands, says Peter Bradshaw. With Red Rocket, Sean Baker has given us an adult American pastoral, essentially a comedy, and another study of tough lives at the margin, close in spirit to his lo-fi breakthrough Tangerine. Richard Lawson in Vanity Fair writes, Baker's choice is a rather perfect one, in contextual terms and actual ones, too. Rex's performance is fleet and nimble, gregarious and shaded in darkness. He and Baker make staccato music together. Some reactions to the film have stirred a debate about sexual morality in film in the post-Me Too era. Sites of RogerEbert.com concludes that Red Rocket is the least of the list of Baker Bergoch's impressive library of realistic movies about the rainbow coalition of the American underclass, going on to question moments in the sexually graphic Red Rocket where, if the filmmakers aren't exactly endorsing their protagonist middle-aged, borderline pedo pimp obsession with Strawberry, they're not being as rigorous about mediating it as they should. Brianna Ziegler in Gawker responds, it was both refreshing and exhilarating to watch an anti-hero go that low, during a time where it seems like audiences feel obligated to reject bad fictional behavior that isn't explicitly punished. Variety's Clayton Davis said the film's risque subject matter could be a hindrance but encouraged award voters to nominate Rex, Baker, and Bergoke for Academy Awards. Accolades: Red Rocket is ineligible for Screen Actors Guild Award nominations. References: external links: official website Red Rocket at IMDb, Red Rocket at Rotten Tomatoes, Red Rocket at All Movie, official screenplay.